Hey, hello leaders, and welcome to another video version of Run to Your Leadership Challenges. So today we're on episode number 381, and I want to ask you a question, or I'm going to talk about a question that you may wonder about based on yesterday's episode. But the question is, are we accountable or capable? Or can we hold each other accountable or capable? So I'm going to hit the record button and I'm going to start recording, and you will hear about 4 seconds of silence, and then I will be recording. So here we go. Hello leaders, and welcome to Run to Your Leadership Challenges. So this week I started talking yesterday about the concept of accountability. And today I want to discuss how, if accountability is a choice, as we discussed yesterday, are we holding people accountable or capable? Brian Moran, author of the 12-Week Year, told a group of us a couple weeks ago that we should hold people capable instead of holding them accountable. Now, I told you yesterday, this whole concept kind of blows my mind a little bit. So I'm talking through it to get a better idea and to better understand it. I mean, just last night, I was watching a TV show and I heard several times how people were holding each other accountable. And it seems like, and that just seems to be the general understanding. It's programmed into our brains that we can hold people accountable. We can hold other people accountable. So what is it? Can we hold them? Can we or can't we hold others accountable? Is it just a matter of the way we think about it or the way we say it? Well, let's break it down a little bit. According to Webster's Online Dictionary, accountability is the quality or state of being accountable, an obligation or willingness to accept responsibility or to account for one's actions. Now, first of all, I think Webster cheats a little bit by starting out and defining the term accountable by saying that a state of being accountable. I mean, that's cheating, right? But anyway, I want to focus on the latter part of this, is to account for one's action. Now, I also looked up accountable, and accountable is defined as subject to giving an account and capable of being explained. You know, after reading these two definitions, I kind of understand it just a little bit better, but it's still a little fuzzy. Here's the way I translated those two definitions, and I kind of combined them. Basically, accountability, or to be held accountable, is to hold somebody accountable, is basically, hold on, let me restate that. Here's the way I translate that. To hold somebody accountable is basically saying they have accepted responsibility and will account for their actions to the point that they will be able to explain the results. In essence, if we combine this translation with what we discussed yesterday about accountability being a choice, it makes sense. However, the definition does use the example of holding somebody accountable for their actions, which makes me believe that you can hold somebody accountable to a certain degree. However, the definition also states that the person gives account for their actions, which alludes to the whole accountability being a choice concept. Now, being that it was still a little bit fuzzy, I dug a little deeper and came across an article in the Harvard Business Review from an article. Now, being that I was still a little fuzzy on this, I dug a little deeper and came across an article in the Harvard Business Review from 2016, and it was titled "The Right Way to Hold People Accountable." Now, in this article, it lists 5 ways to foster accountability in the people around us. Now, did you catch that? The title was, it offers us 5 ways to foster accountability. And I think that's a better way of really looking at this. Now, first of all, it said you need to set clear expectations. I totally agree with this, as we must provide crystal clear expectations if we are to expect our people to give account for their actions or their choices. I love the old saying, if we have no target to shoot at, we'll miss it every time. The same thing goes for expectations. Second, the article said, clear capability. We must ensure our people have the skill set to meet or exceed the expectations that we set for them. Otherwise, we're setting them up for failure before they even ever begin. Third, the article said we need to have a clear measurement. Criteria of some kind so our people can determine whether their actions are moving them in the right direction to achieve the task they are expected to achieve. Now, I compare this to keeping score, and on some degree, we all want to win, or as a minimum, we all want to know if we're winning or just how far behind we are at any given point in the game, quote unquote. The same can apply for work tasks. Fourth, the article says to give an ongoing clear feedback. On a weekly basis to ensure your people know where they are. This is frustrating today. Fourth, the article says to give ongoing feedback on a weekly basis to ensure your people know where they stand in regards to the expectations and measurements, and help them get back on track if needed. Finally, have clear consequences. The article states that if you followed the 4 steps up to this point, you now have 3 choices that you can make. You can repeat, you can reward, or release, depending on whether the person achieved the expectations or not. Now, I really like these 5 steps to foster accountability, and yet I think the process steps away from fostering accountability to more of a training and or coaching process during step number 4, when we provide feedback. I mean, if our people are capable, we shouldn't have to provide feedback or check in on them to see if they're measuring up to the standard or expectations. We should be able to skip this step altogether and move right to the final step of clear consequences. Well, for now, I'm pretty satisfied to accept that accountability is a personal choice, and others cannot really hold us accountable, but they can set us up for success by following 4 or 5 steps mentioned above to foster accountability. To quickly recap, to foster accountability for our people, we can have a clear. Let me quickly recap these 4 or 5 steps. To foster accountability for our people, we can have clear expectations, we can ensure clear capability, we can have a clear measurement tool in place, we can provide clear feedback, and we can communicate clear consequences. Hey, that's it for today. I'm sorry I went a little bit long, but this was a lot to cover. As always, thank you for listening. Have a great rest of your day, and until tomorrow, run to your challenges. All right, well, that was extremely long. I'm at 9 minutes right now. Of course, I did make a lot of mistakes, so I'll probably trim it down to maybe 6 minutes on the podcast. But, I don't know. The jury is still out for me whether we can hold people accountable or capable, but I am leaning more towards holding them capable. But I still also think that we can set them up for success and set them up to hold them in a situation where they can account for their actions. And I think that's one thing that's a lot clearer to me, that we do hold people to give account for their actions. So by saying we hold people accountable, I don't know. I think it's a mindset issue. I know for me, if I have an accountability partner per se, and I know that I have to give account for my actions, I'm more apt to make sure that I get that done. If I don't know that I have to give account for my actions, I might let it go to the wayside. So whether you say that you're holding somebody accountable or somebody's holding you accountable or not, I think it's all saying the same thing. So I don't think I'm going to have any more accountability lessons for the rest of the week. I don't know. Maybe I'll throw one in, but I think I'm going to move on to a different topic tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed this show today, and until tomorrow, have a great day and run to your challenges. We'll see you.